Gareth Jenkins, a Fujitsu employee asked to make a witness statement in one of the post office's private prosecution cases, describes his statement as potentially useless after he says he's not comfortable including certain text in it. What is that text and why does he feel this way? Let's jump into the inquiry and find out.
Can we please look at FUJ 001222203? We have a response from Gareth Jenkins, and I accept you're not copied into this email, but he says, I've annotated it with revisions. In particular, I don't feel I can include the last two paras, which may make the statement useless. Do you not recall any discussion within your team about concerns about the accuracy of witness statements being provided?
I don't recall my input into this at all, no.
Perhaps we can look at FUJ 00.
So let's just dive back to that there. Mena, I've annotated it with revisions. In particular, I don't feel like I can include the last two paras which may make the statement useless. Why would it be useless if it's the truth? Does that mean as in it might not support the prosecution? Who knows?
Do you not recall any discussion within your team about concerns about the accuracy of witness statements being provided?
I don't recall my input into this at all, no.
Perhaps we can look at FUJ 0012203. Sorry, it's FUJ 001222201. And that's the statement that Mr. Jenkins has attached to this email. Thank you. And if we scroll down to the end of the statement, please.
So that's all looking like we've seen previously with the response code stuff we went through in the last video.
He's highlighted those two paragraphs at the end, and he says at the bottom, I'm not sure that the yellow bit now, we've scanned it in black and white, but it's those two paragraphs there.
Yep.
So these are the paragraphs where it's basically saying the computer system's working properly, and if it's not working properly, it's got no effect on the information. So Gareth Jenkins is saying, I'm not comfortable saying that there. And his annotation there, can this be deleted? All I've done is interpreted the data in spreadsheets that you've emailed to me. I.e., I can't say this. I'm not a system engineer. I'm not a developer. I can't possibly put this in my statement. So it sounds like he's flagging actually a very worthy concern. Let's see what Peter Sewell has to say about it.
Is true. Can this be deleted? All I've done is interpret the data in spreadsheets that you have emailed me. So looking back at what we've already looked at this morning,
yes.
We have Penny Thomas removing a definitive statement about system integrity from the pro forma that she had been working on. You have Gareth Jenkins here expressing concerns about a paragraph that says that the computer system was operating properly. As at 2006, do you recall there being any concerns within your team about what they were being asked to do in relation to the provision of evidence in criminal proceedings?
I don't recall anything like that. This is what...
Surely they would have mentioned something, particularly if they're being asked to do something uncomfortable. That's just what you would do, isn't it? You'd discuss it with colleagues and certainly your manager. Let's see what it has to say.
Part of the job was to provide a witness statement with...
And part of his job was to manage the team, surely. Was Gareth Jenkins a member of his team? Not sure at the moment.
With the figures from the ARQ.
And you don't recall within that small team any discussions about concerns about the reliability of the evidence being given?
No.
So let's just dissect the information, the yellow bit that Gareth Jenkins says he wasn't comfortable with including in his witness statement, which was this bottom bit underneath the exhibit codes there. There is no reason to believe that the information in this statement is inaccurate because of improper use of the computer. Not clear whether they mean improper use of the well, I'm presuming they mean improper use of the computer by the sub-postmaster, which would presumably shine a light on training issues, maybe. To the best of my knowledge and belief, at all material times the computer was operating properly, or if not, any respect in which it was not operating properly or was out of operation was not such as to have an effect on the information held on it. Peter Sewell objected previously in the witness template provided by Penny to similar kind of wording, saying the faults aren't the fault of the horizon, and to remove it. So he's got concerns. Now Gareth Jenkins has got concerns about it. particularly when he's signing a witness statement, as you should have concerns if you're not sure of anything, to be used in court proceedings. Any records to which I referred to in my statement form part of the records relating to the business of Fujitsu services. Those were compiled during the ordinary course of business from information supplied by persons who have or may be reasonably be supposed to have personal knowledge of the matter dealt with in the information supplied, but are unlikely to have any recollection of the information or cannot be traced. That bit looks new. I mean, I'm trying to dissect what they're even saying. Those were compiled, so these records, which they're used in evidence, were compiled in the ordinary course of business, i.e. not specifically for the court case, from information supplied by persons who have or may reasonably be supposed to have personal knowledge. Okay, so essentially saying the people who compiled these initially are competent, have knowledge of the system and the matter being dealt with, the court case, it's this specific one, within the information supplied, but are unlikely to have any recollection of the information or cannot be traced. Basically saying, don't ask them questions then. Don't ask them questions or even ask us who it is, because we can't find them, and even if we could find them, they probably wouldn't recall having done this work. Really? I mean that in and of itself seems to bullet the statement in some ways, surely. As part of my duties, I have access to these records. Well, I can see why he's querying this, because basically when he's saying all I've done is interpret data in spreadsheets that you've emailed me to, he's saying I've not got access to these records. I'm not the person who has traced this information and looked at it. I've literally looked at a spreadsheet. I'm taking whose ever word for it who sent to me that these are true and accurate records from the system. I'm not sure that the yellow bit is true. So not only is he uncomfortable with saying this, but Gareth Jenkins is saying, I'm not even so sure this bit in yellow is true. We can see, even though it's scanned in black and white, the yellow bit starts there and ends there. So starts at there in the last paragraph and ends at records. I'm not even sure that the yellow bit is true. Can this be deleted? Well, there's only two options. Either they're going to agree it can be deleted, but if he's not comfortable saying it, he should delete it himself because it's a witness statement in his name. He might be providing it in a professional capacity in his role at Fujitsu, but if he's not sure it's true, he shouldn't be putting it in the sworn statement. That could get you in a load of bother. All I've done is interpreted the data in spreadsheets that you've emailed me, as in, that sounds, why, if he has got access to these records and that's what they want to say, why can't he check the records for himself? Are they trying to speed up the process? Is it helpful, colleague? Or are they trying to make sure he comments on things that go the way they want it to? It's not clear at this point, is it? And a quick update on the petition. We're now at 236,478 signatures. Thank you to Jacqueline, who signed a minute ago. Eileen, who signed 7 minutes ago. Please keep signing, sharing, and subscribing to further updates to show your support for holding Fujitsu to account for the post office scandal. Take care.